My mother sang me nursery rhymes in which Little Bo Peep lost her sheep, and 3 blind mice lost their tails, and Humpty Dumpty lost his balance and was never able to pull himself together again. I listened as weasels went pop, whoa, cradles went crash, and an old man went to bed and bumped his head and staggered around singing Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star. She would sing, I lost my kitty, my poor little kitty, I wandered the fields all round. I looked in the cradle and under the table, but nowhere could kitty be found. So I took my hook and went down to the brook to see if my kitty was there. But there I found that she had been drowned, and so I gave up in despair. Ah! And then she kissed my forehead and said, okay, off to bed, sonny. Good night. Have a good sleep. Ah! When I had children of my own, I came up with a happier ending. So I took my hook and went down to the brook to see if she'd gotten that far. I say unattested that she'd been arrested and charged for driving my car. Yeah, I love happy endings, don't you? My son Jeff and his wife Raylyn do too. They live on a farm with 1,000 head of cattle, and the bodies are there as well, not just the heads. A dozen piglets that sometimes get loose and squeal on each other. And they have 2 golden retrievers, Henry and Abby. One winter time, Abby was past due. She waddled through snowdrifts, then stood inside panting and licking the face of our very first grandchild, Sophia, the one who made me an Instagrampa. Sophie giggled and laughed like a seal that had just swallowed a sardine, and all was well until someone left the door open and Abby escaped. Jeff and Raylyn looked in the cradle and under the table, but nowhere could Abby be found. They scoured the yard, the field, the woods. Sophie wandered around, her hands upturned. Abby, where you go? Come, Abby. But no Abby. About to give up, her parents told her that God loves all creatures, great and small, and so the 3 of them prayed. But winter wasn't going anywhere. That night, as darkness pressed down its thumb, the temperature dipped to -20. The wind howled. Papa Dog Henry howled, howoo! And still no Abby. They prayed again, so did we, but the dog had been missing 2 days now. And then, on the morning of the 3rd day, Henry ran up to Raylyn, closed his jaws on her sleeve, coaxed her to the door, and took off running. Raylyn followed and found Henry standing by an old tree stump, wagging his tail. Beneath that stump was a small hole, and from that hole came the unmistakable sound of whimpering. Jeff arrived then, pulled a very cold Abby out of that tight little den, rushed the dog inside to warm her up, then reached his arm down that hole and began pulling out puppies. He brought them into the house 2 at a time. Sophie squealed. Raylyn warmed them. 2 puppies, 4 puppies, 6 puppies, very cold puppies. Jeff gently plunked the final 5 into a bucket and brought them to his very wide-eyed wife. 11 puppies, all warm and whining and looking for mama. Ever since I was a child, I have loved few things more than the story of the lost being found. Maybe the seeds were sown with that nursery rhyme about a poor little kitty, or maybe there's a longing within each of us to know that someone found us worth looking for, that we are loved unreasonably, that someone called our name and didn't stop searching until we were back in the kennel. Jesus told stories of lost sheep and lost coins and lost boys. He said he came to seek and to save that which was lost. I am so glad. Surely step 1 on the pathway to peace is finding a love greater than our own, a love nothing in all creation can separate us from. This weekend, I'm going to visit Sophia, and we will stand beside that tree stump along with 2 or 3 or 11 puppies, and we'll point and laugh and have our faces licked, and later I'll rock Sophie to sleep while telling her the story of how Jesus found me. And then perhaps I'll sing her a nursery rhyme, one with a happy ending. Subscribe to Laugh Again TV. Subscribe to Laugh Again TV.